Games.
Hello guys, I'm CBMF Productions and welcome back to the Nick Games Retrospective. Today we'll be looking at the second and final console game from Timmy Turner and his fairies in the sequel to Breakin da Rules, Fairly OddParents Showdown. This game was once again developed by Blitz Games, who developed Breakin da Rules, and decided to use the same game engine and structure for this game, probably due to being contracted to do multiple of these games back to back that we've seen before in this series, both in good and bad ways, and was released in late 2004 in North America, and was released the following year in international territories. As you can see, there's not a lot of history about this game. Its reception was the same as Breakin da Rules, mixed with positive reviews, and now today is in this nostalgic bubble that we've seen most of these Nick games be in, and has slowly grown a cult following over the years. But does it deserve to be rediscovered, and does it improve upon the mistakes of Breakin da Rules? Well, before we get into that, let's get into the plot. So we start with the game with everything normal in Timmy's bedroom, ready to watch the season finale of Crash Nebula, but then his TV loses signal right before the episode is about to start, and Timmy doesn't respond to this so well. Why not just fix the satellite? But instead, Timmy wishes for Cosmo and Wanda to fix his TV, but their wants seem to be not working. So Wanda pulls out her emergency wand and is greeted with an old training video of the former King and Queen of Fairy World, teaching Timmy and the player the controls and functions of the game. You have the same set of skills from Breakin da Rules. You can double jump, but you also get new features like being able to slide, stomp, and hang on the walls as well. We collect these wishing stars with great and small abilities that help us out in the game that remains mostly the same from the previous game. But this time they're split into 3 different colors in 3 different sections of the game, and once you get all these stars in a certain section, Wanda and Cosmo can grant it immediately instead of you having to go to this platform to wish like the last game, along with multiple checkpoints allowing you to save whenever you want, and your life system is no longer limited and won't make you restart the level. This time it's a 4-leaf clover that you can upgrade via finding good luck cubes to increase your amount of health that you have, along with having minor collectibles on the way like these stickers, which Wanda says,
"They don't do anything, but they're fun to collect!"
And then there are these coins, which are first seem pointless, and it's a 3D platform and they gotta have coins because you gotta be like Mario, but they actually contribute to the upgrade system this game introduces, in which you can purchase various items that aren't necessary, but can help you out on your quest. Then after the tutorial level, we go to Fairy World as we know with the always lovable and huggable Jorgen, who explains that someone stole the royal jewel.
My muscular intellect suspects that it has something to do with the missing royal jewel.
That's the worst thing that could happen!
What is this, a 90s Fantastic Four film? And now everyone's powers are taken away and Fairy World is in chaos. So Jorgen orders that Timmy and his fairies fix up this mess that they didn't really cause, and guarded the suspect of the crime. An angry jester is getting revenge for losing his job and demands that he get it back. So Timmy gets his wish starts to get some sort of playing card suit, restoration gizmo thingy. I'm not even making it up, that's what the characters name it. So Timmy can knock over some cars to create bridges, and also use spades and dimes as projectiles against enemies. Timmy also becomes a literal cowboy, getting his female cow suit, or whatever gender because according to barnyard lore, it can be male or female. Because male cows can have udders too, and we all know they trust cartoons, right? So he can seduce other cows into submission. Then after putting these cows in their stables, Timmy gets a repair helmet that can fix any broken piece of equipment in Fairy World, especially the color factory that Cosmo says needs to be fixed to restore the color of Fairy World.
What if we can't get the color back? Without my green hair, I won't be handsome!
Even though nothing looks different, it's not like it's black and white like Halloween Town 2 or something like that. But Timmy fixes a color machine and goes to fight the jester and his elf minions while shooting spades and diamonds at him to defeat him. I can't believe I just said that sentence with a straight face.
I'm not a thieving dribble, I'm a dribbling jester.
Why is the line delivery so weird and his jaw out like this?
You still haven't done anything funny!
Look who's talking, Cosmo! So the jester gets defeated, but he doesn't have the royal jewel. So the former king and queen of Fairy World appear for some reason and make Jorgen responsible for the investigation of the jewel. Meanwhile, Timmy and his fairies try to make a very first-rate muffin, the only other object more powerful than the royal jewel. So Timmy goes back to his house to order the objects, and really predicts a future on Amazon Prime.
Yay! Thank goodness for the 1-second delivery guarantee!
The ingredients are sent to his house, but then Vicky gets the objects first and gives them to Timmy's parents and smashes the royal egg in front of him.
I'm his babysitter! I'll take those! Oh no, Vicky! She's gonna eat my ingredients!
May I ask why Vicky's at the house even though she's not babysitting? You know, never mind. So because of plot contrivance, Timmy and his fairies have to go through multiple adventures to get these new ingredients to make this muffin. Our first level starts with Timmy's dad, who looks a lot healthier than the last time we saw him, asking his new robot invention to change the TV channel for him, and due to a magic TV signal, goes into an epileptic seizure, Crocker style, and falls asleep. So Timmy and his fairies go inside his dad's head Inception style to destroy his dream and wake him up, so they can find out where the first ingredient is. So Timmy first wishes for a light bulb. So we can attract these monsters scared with these suits, or they could be just men stripping down to hide themselves just like Alpha style. We already got 2 Fantastic Four references in this review, didn't expect that. Then Timmy gets an ultra powerful super magnet that can bust down metal walls and shoot projectiles of these angry wrenches to kill you. I can't believe what words are coming out of my mouth. Then Timmy gets a klaxon so he can wake up these platforms to get objects, and also do some platforming. And after turning on all 3 of these machines in his dad's head, Cosmo and Wanda, depends on who you pick, has to fly through Timmy's dad's central cortex by shooting these light bulbs like it's Galaga, which resemble the field underneath for the boat. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention imagine they're both a hot dog. So Mick is this giant robot, and if they defeat him, Timmy's dad will wake up. So if you knock down a wrecking ball into the Iron Giant for a handful of times, until he's finally put to rest and Timmy's dad's not too happy about it.
How many times have I told you not to break my giant robot inventions into 1,000 pieces?
Come on, Dad. It's not that bad.
Yeah, if it were that bad, you wouldn't be smiling. So Timmy's dad wakes up and gives Timmy the sugar he needs, as he gives Timmy some valuable advice.
I'm going to my den to sulk and have a tantrum, but do as I say, not as I do.
Words to live by.
And where parents are concerned, it's getting what you want that counts.
Shut up, Cosmo. So then we transition into the next level of Timmy trying to find an egg for their muffin, and realizes that he remembers seeing one in a classic Crimson Chin comic storyline. So he and his fairies transport themselves to Chin's world once again, under their superhero aliases, in trying to save this floating city caused by the supervillain H2 Olga. So Timmy gives himself a propeller to fly across treacherous platforms, a pogo stick to jump across treacherous platforms, and a frisbee to freeze enemies in the water and jump over them like his new Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Cool party.
So then Timmy finds Crimson Chin with his power taken away by H2 Olga, so Timmy has to fight her by himself as we meet H2 Olga as...
He's huge!
Oh yeah, Wanda, she's very tall. She's very tall. So Timmy has to run on his upscale platform to pollute the water she is standing on to defeat her. Okay, who decided to put 4 in a Nickelodeon game? I mean, this game is so logical. Oh, what was I saying? So each tool goes shrunken back to normal size, and Timmy gets the egg to restore Crimson Chin's powers and use it for the muffin. Then we get our next level that sees Timmy as a detective in his mansion of the former king and queen of Fairy World, trying to figure out where the jewel was stolen from and who took it, due to Jorgen not being able to locate the thief because he's too busy practicing his smash our heads in with his huge wand. So he starts acting like the animated objects from Pee-wee's Playhouse to interview them about the night the jewel was stolen and comes out empty-handed. So Timmy, after being chased by Knight Armor, wishes he can get an upside downer, which changes Timmy from being on the ground to being on the ceiling like a Super Mario Galaxy. But along the way, it's revealed that the former king and queen are working for the mysterious villain of the game. Then Timmy wishes he can be a ghost so he can walk through specific doors. And then after scaring some guards, Timmy wishes for a super magnifying glass.
We should call this a magic buying glass. Oh, get it?
Shut up, Cosmo.
I'm funny.
Okay. I was just joking. The magnifying glass shows these pink and blue strips, looking like a gender reveal party, that Timmy has to follow to get to the next clue. As Timmy gets to the secret room of the former king and queen, as they discuss themselves in this monster suit after you smash a few boxes on their heads by changing gravity.
Oh, there goes gravity!
Timmy gets a Scooby-Doo reveal of them, and spill that since they're no longer the rulers of Fairy World, they want to rule the human world as opposed to escape. Our next level sees Vicky bored on the TV watching alien shows, before she's abruptly sucked into the TV and wakes up now in this alien show being an empress and having this power to rule the world, under the mysterious villain's finger. I'm gonna tell my kids that this is Rise of Skywalker. It's just as contradictory because apparently Vicky doesn't remember being captured by aliens the first time, or maybe this could be a prequel to Breaking the Rules in the timeline. You know what, who cares? So Timmy gets in his interstellar suit, and gets into Vicky's evil base via some platforming, until he gets enough wish stars to ask for a jetpack. Then Timmy wishes for Game Rays in his suit so he can walk around unseen platforms, instead of turning green or snapping the Infinity Gauntlet. Missed opportunity, developers. So then Timmy transforms to a pinball for his third wish, so he can get through the next section of Vicky's ship, which someone took the time to build for some reason. So then Timmy meets with Vicky and Mark. Why are you trying to bust a move, Vicky? So then Timmy ensues in the battle where Timmy has to knock down these pillars that are underneath Vicky and Mark, using all of his powers until he breaks Vicky's dome, and both her and Timmy are sucked back into their own world. And Mark is presumed to be alone forever like that one Black Mirror episode, as Timmy and his gang get the milk for the muffin, as we get to our final main level of the game. It consists of Timmy's mom with his flower, watching a banana bread program on TV, and then a king monkey appears out of the TV. Is this just me, or is this a very kiddie version of Videodrome?
On with the new flesh.
No.
So the king monkey decides after hearing what his destiny is by the mysterious villain of the game, saying how he should overrule the humans and beware for Timmy Turner.
But it is your destiny to rule them. Make of this world what you will.
My destiny? To rule? But should I believe everything I hear on TV?
He starts acting like Caesar and kidnaps Timmy's mom, as Timmy still becomes overruled by monkeys. So then Timmy wakes up in a prison cell, as the person is there to try to help Timmy out, because they believe him to be a prophet.
He recently acquired a new king, but he's paranoid. It was prophesied that a small boy with a silly pink hat would oust him from his throne.
I just became Muslim out this bitch.
This plot just keeps getting crazier and crazier, as Timmy wishes for a banana launcher to distract certain monkeys and get them onto a platform to open doors and such, while Timmy is seeking past guards.
Get
over here!
Then we get to Coconut Mall, as we have to do more high-skill platforming as we get a monkey wrench, which is just a monkey puppet that can help pull up drawbridges and such, and also gain lizard abilities to climb up walls like Spider-Man. Then we got burst with these bananas next to this giant monkey statue, so you can open up the banana boat, and I'm not talking about the sunscreen. As we enter the monkey's mouth and get to the king monkey, as Timmy and him battle it out, as you have to hit the king with the banana launcher, then ground pound him 3 times until he's defeated. As Timmy's mom is saved, but she still grounds him.
Timmy, how many times have I told you not to fight prophecy-fearing, super-evolved ape kings?
But Mom, I rescued you!
Well, that's all that's stopping me from grounding you, young man.
But Timmy does get the last ingredient he needs to make the muffin, as Timmy makes a muffin in Shiner's Bakery. Just kidding, he can't smell your feet in animated form, as the muffin is made.
We did it! It's very hot! Ow!
Oh come on Timmy, is it too spicy just like minty toothpaste? You're giving such a bad name for white people. But he doesn't eat it, as we head out to fight the final boss of the game that's been teased on the TV for the entire game. Taunting appears very subtly like he's Heath Ledger's Joker.
Look at me.
Look at me!
I want the Banana Bread show, not some dumb documentary on monkeys.
As our heroes need to stop the villain from broadcasting a station to the world or else chaos will ruin.
But now turn it off! Turn it off! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
So go ahead and critique away, because all it does is make me stronger.
As Timmy and his parents enter the TV broadcasting station to find the former king and queen tied up, as it's revealed that they were lied to and double-crossed by the main villain of the game, who is a child of the Chamberlain, an elder fairy that was shown briefly earlier in the game, who tried to rule Fairy World as 2 separate entities, but the child betrayed him and now the shadow wants to use the jewel to broadcast his TV station to the world to create chaos. So Timmy and his gang have to fight Maxwell Lord over here. Instead of having to beat the shadow by collecting purple coins, you damage it by shining these lights on him, blinding him so he can stop on his feet, and if you do that enough times, he gets defeated and turns into Nickelodeon splats, before rises back up to take the muffin from Timmy, before the king and queen snatch it from him and give it to Timmy, who swallows it in one hold despite that muffin being the size of his head. But who cares because the shadow and his plan get defeated yet again, as the other bad fairies learn their lessons, as Timmy returns home to watch the season finale of Crash Nebula with Cosmo and Wanda as the game ends. This game is quite a step up from Breakin da Rules in almost all aspects. The game has better controls, with Timmy getting a lot more abilities to use rather than just his gadgets. The character models and designs are a lot better in this game and there's no more night mode fuel. The world seems a lot bigger because of how much exploring there is, and also taking the battle for beginning bomb approach, of allowing you to backtrack and re-explore things and find collectibles and such, was a very smart move in my opinion. And it can be very addictive to try to collect all these collectibles for someone who is a completionist. The voice acting is just as good as Breakin da Rules, and there's no more bad audio mixing, and it doesn't sound as distorted as it did in the last game. I'm so glad they got rid of the limited life system in this game, no longer making you redo sections of levels like last time. The platforming sections are enjoyable for the most part. The music is serviceable. There are some very creative new gadgets that Timmy gets to work with in the game. The comedy writing is also improved by having less obnoxious jokes with Cosmo, and keeping more of the self-referential humor. Each level is different, has its own unique flavor to it. The game has a fairly smooth pace. You actually get to see the collectibles you're collecting instead of all being told through dialogue. And similar to Breakin da Rules, it has a very fun atmosphere that does capture the show pretty well, and it's a very enjoyable game to play through all around. The biggest issue I have with the game is mainly how broken and random the plot seems. Now I get that most people who probably played the game weren't expecting the greatest story in the world, but the game is so off-kilter and weird in a lot of sections of the game that I felt like Eric Andre came in and started writing the script. From repeating a lot of the same plot beats as Breakin da Rules about Wanda and Cosmo losing their powers again, Vicky randomly being thrown in, from the game starting about trying to find this jewel, to switching gears and being about making a muffin, and then we get the myriad villains from the X-Worlds to this shadow villain with this TV plot that just gets thrown in out of nowhere, and Croc is nowhere near to be seen, but again, that may be for the better. But it's just a mess to try and follow all the left turns this game takes. Another issue I have is that there are definitely some levels that are bigger than others. Because there are only 6 main levels in the game, they're a lot bigger in scale, but that can lead to some parts like the Mansion and Vicky levels for me, really dragging a lot of spots for me and kind of repeating the same cycles as Breakin da Rules. With how it reuses a lot of the same assets like as the SpongeBob movie game. From the level structure of having a Crimson Chin level, a Vicky level, throwing in Timmy's dad for a joke, Cosmo with his really bad one-liners, and just a lot of baggage from the previous game that I wish wasn't carried over as much. Along with a lot of the boss battles being very underwhelming, especially the final boss, which is probably the easiest boss level of the game, and still cutting some corners, like how a lot of the characters in cutscenes when they talk, it's just them repeating the same idle animations. It's still a good game, but it's not perfect by any stretch. Overall, Fairly OddParents Showdown is an improvement in almost every single way from Breakin da Rules. And it's a game that I do enjoy playing through every time I get in the mood to play it. The controls are improved with more combat, the life system is a lot better, the worlds are a lot bigger and expansive, that makes it fun to collect and explore all the different nooks and crannies the game has to offer you. Some of the comedy does hit, the game has a smooth pace, and it still retains the creativity and the imagination that Breakin da Rules had, and amplifies it. Despite the game's plot is a complete mess, it repeats and recycles a lot of the elements from the previous game, some of the comedy doesn't hit, there are some speed bumps in the pacing of the levels, the boss battles aren't very fun, especially the final boss, and can feel underwhelming underwhelming and rushed in a lot of points, but it's a game that I do enjoy overall, and it's kind of a shame that for how long this cartoon lasted, that this was the last console game we got for this IP. Hopefully THQ Nordic will change that. But as for this game, I give Fairly OddParents Shadow Showdown a B, a 7.5 out of 10, and a rent it recommendation. So that's Fairly OddParents Shadow Showdown. What do you guys think about it? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. I'm CBMF Productions, and I'll see you on the next level.
Games.